Chapter 25. Achieving the devotee's welfare by granting what is desired deeply. I bow down Sri Ganesh, I bow down Sri Saraswati, I bow down the Guru, I bow down the family dignity, I bow down Sri Sita Ramchandra, I bow down to Sri Sadguru Sainath. Sai Maharaj, ocean of mercy, veritable incarnation of God, absolute Brahma, great Lord of Yoga, I do my eightfold obeisance before him. Hail, hail to you, the highest adornment of saints, abode of all auspiciousness, Sai Samartha, the refuge of all devotees, I bow to you, whose desires have been fulfilled. In the last chapter, there was a close study and narration of the wit and humour of Baba, but this Sai, who is fond of his devotees, always kept his devotees pleased. Sai is the embodiment of immense compassion. What is necessary is a singular devotion. For the devotees who has faith and devotion, there would be no lack of fulfillment of desires. Krishna said to Uddhava, the Sadguru is none but myself. Such a Sadguru should be worshipped with love. This is known as singular or unparalleled devotion. The desire rose within me to write about the life of Shri Sai. He chose the Leelas which are very wonderful and worthy of being listened to, and he immediately got them written by me. Though I did not have the powers nor the knowledge of these Shastras, he gave me, the insignificant one, the inspiration and got the book written by me to bring about an awareness in his devotee. When the order was given to keep the notes at that time, and any slight intelligence was my slight intelligence was enriched with knowledge and courage. Immediately I was emboldened that this Sai, profoundly virtuous, would get his stories collected for the upliftment of his devotees. Otherwise, would I have dared to enter the sphere of speech, as this biography is like nectar, that is, the payas from the prasad offered at the feet of the saint. The story of Sai is for the devotees a place where water is given to the thirsty, but instead of water, it is nectar. Drink to your fill by Sai's grace, for it removes the problems of the world. This is not a story but Somakant, from which the stories the Sai ooze like nectar from the moon, which the thirsty devotees like Chakor may drink to their fill. Now, loving devotees with full concentration and without resistance listen to these famous stories, a Sai which would destroy the sins arising out of Kalyug. Once there is a singular faith, then all the calamities that devotees are warded off, and he is granted all that is desired deeply. All the difficulties are resolved. Here is a story to that extent which will demonstrate Sai's love for his devotees. If the listeners hear it with respect, they will feel happy. Therefore, listen with full involvement to this marvelous story. When you will experience what an ocean of compassion Guru Maya is, it is a very brief story, yet without parallel because of the reason it teaches. Because of the lesson it teaches, pay attention for a while and all the problems will be driven away. One prosperous devotee called Damu was a well-to-do bangle merchant of Ahmednagar. He was greatly devoted to Sai. The story of that excellent devotee would be a delight to listen to, and Sai's immediate protection of the devotee will be distinctly seen. At the Ramnami annual festival, two big new flags are taken in procession through Shirdi village. Everyone there knows about it. Out of these, one is from Nimorkar and the other one from this Damu. This has been their practice since many years, carried out uninterruptedly with love and devotion. Damu had two wives but no issues. After receiving Sai's blessings, he got a son. It was then that he wove to offer a flag for Ramnami festival, and the taking out of the flag in procession every year started from then. The preparations for the processions were made at Konya, the carpenter's house. From there, the flags are carried in procession with reverberations of the musical instruments. These long flags were tied to the two corners of the masjid. Every year, this is an auspicious signal of the beginning of the festival. The fakirs that came there were also sumptuously fed. This merchant observed the Ramnavami in this manner every year. Now I present the story of that Damu Anna for the benefit of the listeners. If you listen to carefully, you will realize the powers of Sai. His friend from Bombay wrote to him and asked him if he would do a transaction which would result in a profit of 2 lakhs of rupees, which shall be we shall be partners and each of us will earn 1 lakh of rupees. Send a reply immediately. The transaction is clear and there is no risk. We shall buy raw cottons now. The prices will rise sharply. If the transaction is not done at the opportune time, then we are sure to regret it later. Anna's mind was disturbed because he did not want to miss this opportunity. He had full faith in his friend, yet he was not able to firmly decide. Anna began to wonder whether to enter into this transaction or not. Oh God, what will happen and how? He was confused. As Damu Anna was a disciple, he wrote to Baba, I have no independent judgment. You are my protection. On the face of it, I feel like entering into the transaction, but will I be profitable? Of course. But will it be profitable or cause loss? Please let me know. He addressed the letter to Madhav Rao saying, please read it to Baba. Let me know his instruction. The business seems to be good. The next day in the afternoon, Madhav Rao received the letter. He took it to the masjid and placed it at Baba's feet. What is it, Shama? Why this haste? Why is this paper that you have put at my feet? What is this paper that you have put at my feet? When Baba said, what Baba that Damu Seth from Nagar is desirous of asking you something. What does he write? What does he plan now? It appears that he is trying to touch the sky. He is not content with what God has given. Read his letter. Shama said, what you have just said is exactly the meaning of the letter of Damu Anna, word to word. God, you sit quietly and put the devotees in a turmoil. Then, when they are mentally disturbed, you bring them to your feet. Some you drag yourself and bring them here. For some you get letters written. When you reveal beforehand the secret contents, then why do you have the letter read? Oh Shama, read. Why do you believe in me? I am just made this way, speaking out whatever comes to my mind. Then Madhav Rao read the letter. Baba listened attentively and then Baba said feelingly, the Seth has taken leave of his senses. Tell him in reply what is lacking in your home. Let him be content with half a loaf of bread, and let him not bother about a lakh. Damu Anna was impatiently waiting for the reply. He read it the moment it reached him. Damu Seth was disappointed on reading that reply. The fortress of his hopes was dashed to the ground. The tree of his expectations was uprooted. Now if I earn 1 lakh, I will lend half of it on interest and immediately become a millionaire and live happily in Nagar. The castles he had built in the air collapsed on the spot. Damu Anna was greatly disheartened. What has Baba done? I made a mistake in writing that letter itself. I have caused my own ruin. I have myself kicked the platter of served food no sooner than it had come. Be it so. In that letter, to Damu Anna, it had been hinted that there is difference between saying and hearing. Come here personally. Such was Madhav Rao's indication. I too feel that I should go personally. Maybe that would be beneficial. Perhaps he may give his consent. Thinking thus, Anna came to Shirdi and sat near Baba. After prostration, he was gently pressing Baba's feet, but had no courage to ask. He began to secretly think that he should keep a share of the profits for Baba. Sainath, if you help me in this transaction, I shall offer some part of the profits to you and always remain in debt to you, he thought. He held Sai's feet to his head and Damu Anna sat thus for a while. It is human nature to make decisions and have hesitation. Such thoughts about the transactions were turning round in his head, in his mind. Devotees have desires without realizing their true welfare. Only the Guru knows what is in the devotees' interest, knowing the past, present, and future. However much anyone kept his thought hidden, Sai Samartha dwells within the hearts of everyone as the witness, and he knows the innermost thoughts. When anyone lovingly related his intentions and placed them at Sai's feet and asked for permission with full faith, Sai showed the right path. This was his vow and all his devotees knew it. He removed the obstacles of all who had completely surrendered. The Guru is the real mother and father. Since numerous births, he is the guardian and protector. He is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, the doer and the one who gets everything done. A child wants sweet, but the mother gives bitter medicine whether the child cries or withers. This is her loving devotion. Decision. How can the child know the properties of that bitter medicine and how it will be beneficial at the proper time? Only the mother knows the indication. Even if Anna kept a share, was Baba likely to forget himself? His love was not motivated by gain. He was ever ready to look after the welfare of his devotees. Money and gold were like dust to him, so what was the value of the share for him? These saints manifest in the world only to uplift suffering humanity. He is a saint who has control over his senses and is free from vices of ignorance and envy and whose aim is to bestow favors on others. Though Damu Anna's idea of giving a share was not expressed and was hidden, Baba gave an open reply. Listen to it with respectful attention. Baba was fully aware of the desires of all beings, present, future, past, like an amla fruit held in the palm. Baba knew very well the future of his devotees. Listen to how he gave timely warnings and spoke clearly. Bapu, I am not to be involved in anything. Baba informed him lovingly. Sai does not think this transaction to be good. Anna thought and felt ashamed. Hearing these words of Baba, Damu Anna understood what was meant. He gave up the idea and sat quietly with his head downcast. Again, another idea occurred to him whether he should do some other business like dealing in rice, wheat, and other grains. Listen to Baba's reply. You will buy 5 shares for a price and sell 7 for the same price. Hearing these words of Baba, Anna felt ashamed. Thus nothing ever happened which was not seen by Sai. Everything everywhere was known to him. On the other side, his friend Anna's had troubled thoughts. He did not know what to do. There was even no reply from Anna. Then that Seth wrote and told him all that had happened. His friend was surprised on reading it and thought strange his fate. What a wonderful transaction had come our way. Why did he not think for himself instead of dancing attendance on the fakir? He has unnecessarily lost the gains. God gives, but we lose by our own actions. The mind stops working when evil days are imminent. Why did this fakir have to come in the way of this clear business? What can he say who has given up the normal way of life and goes from door to door like a madman to beg for morsels of food to feed himself? Let it be. He was not destined to have it, therefore his mind acted thus. I should look for another partner. Whatever is not destined would never happen. May it be whatsoever. Anna remained content. Someone else became his friend's partner whose karma dragged him into it. He got into trouble. They had hoped to make money but suffered revisals. They had losses as if the fakir Satka had beaten them. How fortunate is my Damu Anna. Very wise. Sai is true pearl to him, wise and sages. How compassionate was he to the devotees. The friend said if he had followed my advice then he would have lost heavily. He was saved because he followed the fakir. How wonderful was his faith. I laughed at his madness and was proud of my own cleverness. It was truly futile. That's the experience I got. I revealed that fakir unnecessary. If I had followed his advice, he would have given me timely warning also, and I would not have suffered this loss. Now I will narrate one more story and then bring to a close the narration about Anna. The listeners will be happy and will wonder at Baba. See what happened once at Parel. A parcel came from Goa. A mamledar named Raleigh sent some famous mangoes. It was addressed to Madhav Rao with the intention that they should be offered at Baba's feet with respect. They were expected at Kopargaon and brought to Shirdi. When opened in the masjid before Baba, the mangoes were found to be lovely. They were more than 300 in fruit, and the fruit was full of sweet aroma. Baba saw all of them and gave the lot to Madhav Rao, who put 4 in the Columba earthen pot in which Baba put all the food and took the rest away. As soon as the fruit was put in the Columba, Baba said, "Those fruits are for my Damu Anna. Let them be here." Let them be there. 2 hours later, Damu Anna arrived at the masjid to offer worship with flowers, etc. He had no idea of what had happened earlier. Baba began to speak loudly. Those mangoes are for Damya and not ours, even though people are casting covetous eyes upon them. He should take the mangoes for whom they are meant. Why should we have what is for another? He alone should eat for whom they are meant and then die after eating them. Anna naturally accepted them as being prasad. Anna knew fully well not to misinterpret the words as being inauspicious. Anna finished the worship and left. He came again and asked, I do not know to which wife I should give these fruits, the older or the younger. Baba replied, give to the younger one. She will have 8 children, 4 boys and 4 girls, all caused by this Amra-Leela. Since he had no children, he had made a lot of efforts. He had invoked saints and sages to get their blessings. He danced attention on saints and sages for this purpose and to propagate his planets. He even tried astrology to such a degree that he became an astrologer himself. According to the stars in his horoscope, he had no children. This was the outcome of the knowledge of astrology. Anna knew this very well and had given up all hopes. Yet these were the words of assurance from the Saint Sai. Hope dawned again as Samartha was propitious. Be it so, after some time Baba's words came true. As the prasad of the saint germinated and bore fruit, the children were born. It happened as it was said. Anna's own forecast was proved to be wrong. Sai's words turned out to be fruitful. Sons were born as he had promised. May it be whatsoever. This was Baba's speech when Baba was in body. Later, even after he left the body, he had determined the greatness of his speech. Even when I pass away, believe in my words. From my tomb, my bones will give you assurance. Not only I, but my tomb would be speaking, moving, and communicating with those who surrender themselves wholeheartedly to me. Do not worry that I shall be hidden from your eyes. You will hear my bones speak and discuss your welfare. Always remember me only. Believe in me, heart and soul. Pray without selfish motives, and you will attain your welfare. O Sai Sadguru, the wish-filling tree of the devotees, let not Hemat forget and lose sight of your feet. O Sadguruvara, the one who is compassionate towards the devotees, make haste and reach us. There is no respite in the worldly affairs. Free us from the cycle of births and deaths. Our nature depends on our tendencies. The senses are forever indirect outwardly. Restrain us from the attraction of the objects of the senses. Introvert us. In the ocean of worldly existence, we are tossed around like waves in a whirlpool. Extend your timely help and reveal us. The senses run amok. Evil practice overpowers us. Please damp up this unrestrained flow. Turn back the host's senses. If these senses are not introverted, there is no prospect of self-realization. Without that, how can there be supreme bliss? Life will be futile. Neither wife nor son nor numerous friends will be of any use in the end. You alone are the lasting friend for the final journey. You are the giver of joy and salvation. Unravel the net of actions and sins and free us from its misery. Uplift the poor and the meek with the power of your grace, Maharaj, to destroy from their roots evil tendencies and argumentative habits. Let our tongue get a passion for chanting the name of pure Sai Raya. Grant to me the ability to love you so intensely that I forget all my resolves, doubts, even my body and home. Take away my ego also. Make me ever remember your name and forget all other things. Remove the restlessness of the mind and make it steady and calm. If you just lapse us, the darkness of night of our ignorance will vanish, and we shall live happily in your light. What more can we desire? That you made us drink the nectar of your life story and awakened us from our slumber is due to your grace. Isn't this something extraordinary? The next chapter is sweeter than this. The listeners' longing will be satisfied. Their love at Sai's feet will increase. Their faith will also be strengthened. Once, a devotee came for darshan after obtaining permission from his guru. On bowing at Sai's feet, his faith in his own guru was strengthened. Similarly, another gentleman who was rich but having great problems came for Sai's darshan with his son and his wife. How his desire was fulfilled and his epileptic son was cured by mere darshan. He was also reminded of an earlier experience. Therefore, Hemad surrenders to Sai and respectfully requests the listeners to become inclined towards Sai's stories and make the listening meaningful. May there be well-being. This is the end of 25th chapter, Shri Sai Samatha Satcharitra, written by the devotee Hemad Pant, implied by the saint and virtuous people, called Achieving the Devotee's Welfare by granting what is desired deeply. This is offered to Sri Sadguru Sainath. May there be auspiciousness.